I came home to candlelight. Soft flickers danced along the walls, stretching shadows long and thin. The scent of rosemary and garlic curled in the air, warm and rich. A bottle of Cabernet Sauvignon, our favorite, stood uncorked on the table. 2 glasses beside it, everything was perfect. Romantic, except for the single plate and the note beside it. Dinner's on me. Enjoy your night alone. My breath caught. I stared at the words, my mind struggling to process them. I picked up the note, turning it over, as if the back would hold an explanation. A punchline. But there was nothing. I swallowed hard, reaching for my phone, with fingers that suddenly felt numb. My pulse pounded as I opened our shared location app, the one we had used for years without a second thought. And there it was. Emily was at a luxury hotel. Not just any hotel, the kind you book for anniversaries, honeymoons, stolen weekends. I zoomed in, my stomach twisting. I told myself she could be there for a different reason. A work event. A surprise for me. Then I saw she wasn't alone. A second location. Another phone. Another person. And just like that, the air was gone from the room. I gripped the edge of the table to steady myself. But the world kept tilting. My heartbeat roared in my ears, my vision tumbling. This year will be special, she had said. Just wait. You're going to love it. Her voice echoed in my mind, each word a blade twisting deep. For months, she had been teasing me about this anniversary. She had smiled, laughed, kissed me, all while knowing exactly how this night would end. I felt sick. I wanted to scream, to flip the table, to break something, anything to match the chaos in my chest. But I didn't. Instead, I inhaled slowly, forcing the tremor from my hands. I picked up the wine bottle, pouring a glass with deliberate precision. The deep red liquid swirled in the candlelight. My fingers brushed the rim of the untouched second glass, the one she had set out for herself, before leaving me here alone. I pushed it aside. Then I sat down at that candlelit table, picked up my fork, and took a bite of the meal she had prepared for me. It was delicious. I chewed, swallowed, and took another sip of wine. Outside, the night carried on, as if nothing had changed. Cars passed in the distance, neighbors laughed on their porches, the world remained oblivious. But inside, everything had shifted. Something inside me cracked open, something I could never put back together. I didn't cry. I didn't call. I didn't text. I just sat there, eating the last dinner my wife would ever cook for me. In silence. I didn't sleep that night. I checked into a hotel, not the one she was in, not the one she had chosen for them, but a different one, far enough away that I wouldn't be tempted to drive by, to look for her, to chase an answer I already knew. The room was quiet. Sterile. Just a bed, a desk, a chair. No pictures on the walls, no memories in the corners. I lay on top of the sheets, staring at the ceiling, listening to the hum of the air conditioner. My phone sat on the nightstand face down. I had turned it off. I knew if I left it on, I would check. And if I checked, I would see that she was still there. That she was still with him. I clenched my jaw and forced my breathing to slow. It didn't help. My mind kept spinning, pulling me back through time, making me watch our life together from the beginning, searching for the moment when she started slipping away. Was it gradual? Had she fallen out of love with me piece by piece, one unnoticed moment at a time? Or had it happened all at once? Maybe it was a single choice, a single night, a single moment, when she decided I wasn't enough anymore. I thought about our wedding day. The way she had looked at me when she said, "I do." The way she cried during our first dance. I thought about Sunday mornings, the way we used to make breakfast together, dancing in the kitchen to old songs, stealing kisses between flipping pancakes. I thought about every time she whispered, "I love you," in the dark. Had she meant it, or had she just been pretending? My stomach twisted. I sat up, running a hand over my face, trying to force the memories away. Because what did it matter? She wasn't coming back to me. Not really. I pictured her with him, her hands on him the way they used to be on me, her lips parting for him, her laugh. God, that laugh falling from her mouth, easy and unburdened because she had no idea that I knew. No idea that she had already lost me. The thought should have hurt. Maybe a few hours ago, it would have. But now it just felt inevitable. Something inside me had gone cold. I looked at my wedding ring, twisting it absently on my finger. A symbol of promises of loyalty. Of forever. I pulled it off. Just like that, it was over. I placed the ring on the nightstand, beside my silent phone, and lay back down. I didn't cry. I didn't rage. I just closed my eyes, listening to the quiet, waiting for morning to come. Because tomorrow, I had work to do. She didn't come home the next day or the day after that. By the third day, I stopped checking her location. I didn't need to. I knew where she was, and I knew who she was with. I wondered if she ever thought about me. If she imagined me sitting at home, waiting, heartbroken, staring at my phone, desperate for an explanation. She didn't know me at all. I didn't call. I didn't beg. I didn't demand answers. Instead, I called a locksmith. It was an easy conversation. I told them I had lost my keys. They came within an hour, changed the locks, and handed me a fresh set. Simple. Efficient. By the time I closed the door behind them, something inside me felt lighter. Then I called a lawyer. That conversation wasn't as simple. The words felt strange coming out of my mouth, but they were steady. Controlled. I asked for everything to be filed as soon as possible. I wasn't interested in negotiations, in dragging this out, in giving her the chance to manipulate her way back in. She had walked away first. I was just making sure the door stayed closed. I spent the next 48 hours preparing. I went through the house, collecting the things that were hers. Clothes, shoes, jewelry, random little pieces of her life that had settled into mine. I packed them neatly into boxes and left them by the door. I didn't touch the photos. Not yet. Not because I was holding on to something, but because I wanted her to see them when she came back. I wanted her to walk through that door and be met with 1,000 reminders of the life she had thrown away. I wanted her to feel it. Because I had felt it. Every hour she spent in that hotel, every moment she spent wrapped in someone else's arms, I had felt it. And now, it was her turn. I made sure everything was in order. I checked the bank accounts, my accounts. She had no access to them anymore. I changed every password, every security question. She had built a second life behind my back. I had no problem erasing her from mine. By the third night, the house felt different. Not empty. Not broken. Just mine. I sat at the kitchen table, staring at the divorce papers, my name already signed at the bottom. All that was missing was hers. Outside, the wind howled against the windows. The same storm that had been brewing inside me for days. I took a sip of my drink, exhaling slowly. Let her come home. Let her see what she had done. Let her realize that the life she had walked out on wasn't waiting for her anymore. She had left as my wife. She was coming back as a stranger. On the fourth day, she finally came home. I heard her before I saw her, the soft shuffle of her shoes on the porch, the rustle of shopping bags. She was humming. Like she had just come back from a spa weekend. Like she hadn't set fire to a decade of marriage. Her keys scraped against the lock once, twice. Then silence. A pause. A sharp knock. I opened the door just enough to see her face. Her smile faltered. Why is the lock changed? My voice was quiet, cold. Because you don't live here anymore. Her eyes widened, confusion flickering into panic. Wait, what? What are you talking about? I held up the papers. Divorce. The color drained from her face. Number. I stepped forward, pressing them into her hands. You don't get to talk. You don't get to explain. She blinked rapidly, her breath hitching. Baby, please, I stopped. The word cut sharp. Don't call me that. Tears welled in her eyes. I messed up, I know. But can we? How long? She swallowed. A few months. I exhaled. Nodded. Then that's how long I've been done with you. A sob broke from her lips. Please let's. There's nothing left to say. I stepped back. Her face crumbled. She reached for me, but I was already shutting the door. Firm. Final goodbye, Emily. And then she was gone. She didn't knock again. I stood by the door, listening as her footsteps faded down the porch steps. The wind carried a broken sob, a sharp gasp, but I felt nothing. No anger. No sadness. No regret. Just peace. I turned away, stepping back into the house that no longer held her presence. The divorce papers lay on the table, where I had left them, her name untouched. She would sign them. She had no choice. I walked into the kitchen, grabbing a bottle of wine, the same one she had left for me on our anniversary. I poured a glass, the deep red swirling in the candlelight. For 10 years, she had been my world. For 10 years I had believed in forever. And in one night she had killed it all. I picked up my glass and walked to the dining table. The same table where I had eaten my last meal, as her husband. The same table where I had learned the truth. I pulled out a chair, sat down and lifted my drink. To 10 years, I murmured. I drank. The wine tasted better this time. Smoother. Richer. Like freedom. I set the empty glass down, leaned back in my chair and exhaled. This was the last night I would think about her. The last night she would have space in my mind. Tomorrow, my new life would begin. And for the first time in a long time, I was looking forward to it.